Did you hear the news? This video is about news items for your Drupal website. I'll show you what a news item looks like, the steps to create one, and how to edit an existing news item. The news content type is intended for breaking, factual, timely, and noteworthy content. It's useful for content such as announcements, updates, press releases, articles, and other time-sensitive posts. This is a listing page showing all news items for this demo website in a paginated list. Visitors can search for key terms in the title or use a variety of filters including the date and taxonomy terms to find the news they're seeking. News items can also be filtered by the listing page itself so that, for example, only news items relevant to a particular department or audience are available for viewing. To learn more about listing pages and automatic lists, check out some of the other video tutorials on those topics. This is an example of a news item. The title is shown in this large blue header. You can add an updated date to reflect changes to an older news item, and there's an option to include a featured image right at the top of the article, and also a full lineup of text formatting options such as headings, linked text, quotes, embedded images, and tables. To create a new item, there are a couple ways to get started. In the side navigation, hover over the word Create, and in the menu that appears there, find and select the word News. Or select the word Content from the side navigation, then select the blue Add Content button, and from the Content section, select News. Either way will bring you to the Create News page. Required fields to create your news item are marked with a small red asterisk. All other fields are optional, but many greatly influence the functionality of your news item. We'll get to those later. For a news item, there are only 3 required fields: a title, a summary, and the body. Let's start by entering a title for our demo news item in the title field at the top of the page. Below that is an option to include a shorter title to appear in menus. This is a handy tool for keeping long titles in check and making menus look more manageable and uniform. Then we get to the required summary. This text does not show up on the news item itself, but does show up in automatic lists and is useful for search engine results and social media shares, so it's important to be concise and descriptive. Below that, there's an option to include a featured image for the top of the news item. Do that by selecting Add Media. In the pop-up window that appears, either add a new image by selecting Choose File at the top of the window, or choose an existing image from the media library by selecting the checkbox in the upper left corner of the image you want to add, and then selecting the Insert Selected button in the lower right corner of this window. Back on our Create News page, we arrive at the body of our news item. Here you can enter or paste in the text for your news item and format it using any of the tools in the toolbar at the top of the body field. Below the body field, there's an option to enter an updated date. This is used most often if the news item has been previously published and then updated more recently. Moving on, there's a field to enter up to 250 characters for a description of the news item. This text also does not appear on the news item, but does show up when the news item appears in a listing page. Next are two fields related to adding contacts to the news item. The first is a header to create a heading for any related contacts. The second is a field to add a contact, with the option to add more contacts by selecting Add Another Item beneath that. Below the contacts, you may enter the URLs and link text for up to 5 related links, such as agency or organization sites mentioned in or connected to the content in the news item. Then you can add up to 20 related files. Examples of a related file might include a PDF version of the press release, forms, postings, or other documents mentioned in or related to the content of the news item. And then we get to the section where you can add taxonomy terms to help classify this news item and help visitors search for content by filtering for these terms. These terms do not appear in the news item, but play an important role in classifying and filtering the content for visitors. There's room to enter up to 5 topic terms. Then you can enter the type of news item it is, with examples such as press release, announcement, newsletter, and so on. And you can affiliate the news item with a specific division or section on your site. Finally, you can add terms specific to your agency to help visitors further refine their search on your site. And now we've reached the bottom of the Create News page, and it's time to save our work. You can choose from a few different save options by selecting the drop-down menu to the right of the words Save As, and selecting either Draft if the news item is incomplete or needs review, or Published if it's ready to roll. Let's select Published, and then select the blue Save button to save our work. This will bring us to our newly created news item, where we can see the title in the header, the type of news it is, the published date, the featured image, and the text in the body. To edit an existing news item, if you're already on the item itself like this, you may simply select the blue Edit button in the upper right corner of the page. If you need to find the news item, select Content from the side navigation. Then either enter the news item title in the title field or filter by the news content type and select Filter. When you find the news item you want, select the Edit button in the Operations column on the far right side of the page in line with that news item. After you make any edits to your news item, remember to scroll or go to the bottom and select Save to save your changes. And that is how you can create and edit a news item on your Drupal website. I invite you to watch the tutorials about automatic lists and listing pages for a fuller understanding of how news items and their taxonomy terms all work together. Thanks for watching.